In May of 1968, the USS Scorpion was on its way home. The mission was over. The submarine had spent months operating in the Atlantic during one of the tensest periods of the Cold War. Nothing unusual had been reported. No combat. No emergencies. Just long days beneath the surface, doing exactly what it was designed to do. The crew expected to see land soon. Families were already preparing. Dock schedules were noted. The return was routine enough that it barely drew attention inside the Navy. Submarines were built to disappear for months and come back quietly. That was normal. What wasn't normal was silence. The USS Scorpion was due to check in as it approached its final leg back to port. The expected communication window came and went. No signal. No update. No explanation. At first, no one panicked. Submarines miss check-ins sometimes. Equipment failed. Antennas malfunctioned. The ocean interfered. A delay of hours meant nothing in that world. Then another window passed. Still nothing. Behind closed doors, concern replaced patience. The Navy began reviewing the submarine's last known position, plotting routes, checking logs. Everything pointed to a simple transit. No recorded mechanical crisis. No reported enemy contact. And yet, the submarine was gone. Days passed before the word overdue was spoken officially. Even then, it was done carefully. Quietly. The Cold War had rules about what you admitted and when. A massive search area was outlined across thousands of miles of open ocean. Aircraft flew patterns over empty water. Ships listened for signals that never came. There was no debris. No oil. No distress transmission. Just absence. For a vessel designed to vanish beneath the sea, this disappearance was different. It wasn't operational silence. It was final silence. And the most disturbing part was this: whatever had happened to the USS Scorpion had happened fast enough that no one aboard had time to fire a shot or ask for help. The last confirmed communication from the Scorpion was calm, brief, and unremarkable. It reported its position. It acknowledged orders. It gave no hint of trouble. That was the message the Navy would return to again and again, searching for something they might have missed. After that transmission, there was nothing. No emergency code. No partial signal. No broken sentence cut off mid-word. For a submarine crew trained to report even minor irregularities, the silence was unsettling. It suggested that whatever happened did not allow time for procedure. As the days passed, analysts began reconstructing the submarine's final hours. They studied speed, depth, and route. They compared it to known Soviet activity. They examined the mechanical history of the vessel. And then another detail surfaced. The Navy's underwater listening systems, vast networks of hydrophones designed to detect submarines, had recorded unusual sounds in the Atlantic around the time Scorpion vanished. Faint. Distant. But distinct. Several sharp noises. Followed by a low, spreading rumble. They were not identified as explosions at first. The data was incomplete, the signals weak. But they were enough to confirm one thing: something catastrophic had happened deep underwater. Still, the Navy said very little. Publicly, the disappearance remained unexplained. Privately, search planners began to assume there were no survivors. At the depth Scorpion operated, even a minor failure could become fatal in seconds. The search expanded, but hope narrowed. No wreckage floated to the surface. No oil slick appeared. The ocean kept its secrets well, especially at extreme depth. Families were told only what could be confirmed, which was almost nothing. Weeks passed with no answers, no recovery, no closure. The submarine had not simply gone missing. It had gone quiet in a way that suggested the crew never knew what hit them. Internally, the Navy had already accepted a grim reality. A submarine does not vanish like this unless something has gone catastrophically wrong. Mechanical failure, structural collapse, an internal explosion, or something far more dangerous during the Cold War, enemy involvement. But none of those possibilities were shared publicly. Instead, the response was controlled and minimal. Official statements stayed vague. Investigations were acknowledged, but details were withheld. This was not unusual. Submarine operations lived in secrecy, and anything involving Cold War patrols was automatically sensitive. Still, the silence raised questions. The Scorpion had a known history of technical issues. Some systems had been flagged during previous deployments. Repairs had been delayed. Certain upgrades were postponed. On paper, none of this meant disaster, but combined, it painted an uncomfortable picture. Inside classified circles, concerns multiplied. If the loss was mechanical, it raised doubts about the safety of the fleet. If it involved a weapon malfunction, it suggested design flaws no one wanted to admit. And if it involved an enemy submarine, acknowledging that fact could escalate tensions at the worst possible time. So the investigation moved forward quietly. Search efforts continued, but expectations shifted. This was no longer a rescue mission. It was a recovery, if recovery was even possible. At the depths involved, the ocean did not give things back easily. Families sensed it before they were told. Updates slowed. Language changed. Hope was replaced with formality. The Navy was no longer searching for survivors. It was trying to understand how a modern nuclear submarine could disappear without warning. And the most unsettling question lingered beneath every report. If the Navy already suspected the cause, why wasn't anyone being told? 5 months after the Scorpion disappeared, the Navy found it. Not by chance, and not easily. Using deep-sea technology that had rarely been tested at such depths, search teams located wreckage more than 2 miles beneath the surface of the Atlantic. What they saw did not bring clarity. It raised more questions. The submarine was broken into sections. The bow was crushed inward, as if the pressure of the ocean had folded it. Debris was scattered across the seafloor, not in a single compact wreck, but spread out, suggesting a rapid, violent failure rather than a slow descent. There were no signs of external attack. No hull breaches consistent with torpedoes. No evidence of combat damage. Whatever destroyed the Scorpion had happened internally, or as a result of something going wrong inside the vessel itself. Investigators studied the images carefully. Certain compartments appeared to have collapsed first. Other areas showed damage consistent with extreme pressure following a sudden loss of integrity. One theory focused on a torpedo malfunction. Another pointed to battery failure. Others suggested a rapid descent beyond safe depth, where the hull could no longer withstand the pressure. None of the theories fully explained the pattern of destruction. The Navy compiled its findings and released a conclusion that was deliberately narrow. The loss was attributed to a catastrophic event. No single cause was officially confirmed. The wreck was left where it lay. There would be no recovery of the submarine. No retrieval of remains. The depth made it impossible, and perhaps unnecessary. The ocean had already claimed the evidence. For the families, this discovery was not closure. It was confirmation. The Scorpion had not been drifting. It had not been captured. It had not been waiting to be found. It had been destroyed quickly, far below the surface, in a place where no one could hear it break apart. When the investigation ended, the conclusion felt unfinished. Officially, there was no enemy contact. No confirmed mechanical failure. No single event that could be named, explained, and closed. The loss of the Scorpion was filed as a tragedy caused by an unspecified catastrophic failure. For an institution built on precision, that answer was unusually vague. Over time, theories filled the silence. Some pointed to a faulty torpedo that may have armed itself inside the submarine. Others believed a battery explosion triggered a rapid loss of control. A few suggested the submarine descended too deep, too fast, and the hull simply gave way. Each explanation had evidence. Each explanation also had gaps. What never changed was the absence of a final message. No distress call. No warning. No indication that the crew understood what was happening before it was over. That detail alone suggests the disaster unfolded in seconds, not minutes. For the families, that silence became the hardest part to live with. There was no final act of bravery recorded. No last words. No moment to point to and say, this is when it happened. Just a date on a calendar and a notification delivered in careful language. The Cold War moved on. New submarines were built. Procedures were updated quietly. Lessons were learned, though few were shared publicly. The wreck remains on the ocean floor to this day, untouched, sealed in darkness and pressure. A modern warship lost without a battle, without an enemy, and without a clear explanation. History remembers wars through explosions and victories. But sometimes, the most unsettling stories are the quiet ones. A submarine that left port, did its job, and never came home. No shots fired. No final transmission. No clear answer.